I come to All-Star every year, and usually it'll be Bron, and Kobe, and Dirk, and Tim Duncan, and Dwight, and they would be the ones talking, kind of leading the room. But this time it was like Magic, Kareem, all these dudes, like they the ones in there doing the chatter while we taking the pictures. I mean, I'm looking around like I'm really in here with these dudes. And when we get in the hallway, you see MJ walking towards us. He wasn't even in there for the big picture. He's walking, and it's more cameras on just him by himself than it is on all of us. And it was like, that's when you really saw the difference of like, man, this dude the GOAT.
Here it is, Dame Leonard is explaining why MJ is the GOAT. In essence, what he is saying, Dame, what he's saying is that MJ had something that other great players didn't have. And I'm talking about how he maximized it. Some players had it to a certain extent, but not on the same level that MJ had it on. And that's a mystique to himself. MJ just didn't outwork, outplay, outdominate other players, but that aura that he had played a big part psychologically on his opponents because he was mystical in how he played the game. And this is something that wasn't accidental. It was built from several layers working together within MJ. This is why often, you may find him saying it one time or two times, but often MJ didn't go around saying he was the greatest player ever. He didn't go around trying to convince people of him being the GOAT. He didn't go around trying to, in action, with his hands and arms, trying to crown himself as he's the king. He had that mystique to himself, that presence to him, that demanded respect as it relates to him being the GOAT. And a few things I'm going to point out about him, which would do well for up-and-coming stars and what have you, to try to implement into their game and try to implement into their personhood that can help them move with this type of aura and type of presence that MJ had and often displayed, not only on the court, but even off the court, as Dame is attesting to. The first thing that's to be recognized about MJ is his total control over his emotions and presence. Rarely would you see MJ looking nervous. Rarely would you see him trying to rush anything or being uncertain. He was always in total control of his emotions and his presence. And this is what many people, both coaches and NBA players, even owners of the organization, testify about MJ. That you would never catch him cracking underneath pressure. He always moved, he always played like he expected to win, no matter what. He always stayed calm underneath pressure. And when you got this type of psychological effect, no matter the present moment, no matter it seems like you're not going to win, listen, this calls you to move with a different attitude, and it calls you to move to a different aptitude that other players very seldom ever reach. Number two, MJ reputation was built through repeated destruction. What you mean by that? Him repeatedly destroying his opponents gave him that type of mystique to himself. Players remember often, you got Kevin Garnett, you got many other people such like him talking about the time they talked junk to MJ, talked trash to MJ, and how it worked against them. So when you dealing with a guy like that you talk trash to or you try to get the best of, and he repeatedly outplay you. He repeatedly destroy you. He repeatedly dominate you. This what create a mystique. Okay? This is what it do. And many people remember him putting up 50-point game regularly, 60-point game, 40-point games, 30-point games, repeated against them. And, that reputation of just constantly destroying his defenders, destroying his opponents is what gave him this type of mystique. All right. Number 3, the predator mentality that MJ had. Jordan, he competed like every possession was personal. Even Kobe Bryant. And Kobe Bryant, who was very competitive when it comes to the basketball. Okay? He's right there, close to MJ. Some would say Nate to Nate, right? But Kobe Bryant, out of his own mouth, said this: I'm just as competitive with MJ, but only solely as it relates to basketball. He said, MJ is way more competitive to me because outside of basketball, MJ is competitive in everything. This came out of Kobe Bryant's own mouth. Kobe said, I'm just as competitive as MJ on the hoop court. And many of you who follow the game and follow the career of Kobe, he would even say that he may be competitive than MJ on the hoop court. That's neither here or there. But he said, overall, he's more competitive to me because when I step off the hoop court, this is what Kobe Bryant said, I'm no longer competitive. Every day MJ wake up, he's in that competitive spirit. Why? Because he got a predator mentality. He just don't want to win. He wants to break your confidence in every which way he possibly can. That's why he got that mystique to himself. All right? And many people testified that playing against MJ felt like being haunted. Haunted. Okay? They used to mark on their calendar when they was going to be going against the Bulls so they can psychologically get prepared. Number 4, where's he don't get credit for. MJ mastered fundamentals, and that made him damn near supernatural on the hoop court. I think it was Larry Bird that said, I know it was him, when he torched the Celtics in the playoffs. He said, I thought this was God in the flesh playing basketball. Oh. MJ got that mystique to himself because, and I'm going to give respect to where respect is due. Kobe's damn near next to him. But when it comes to fundamentals, I don't think there's nobody up there with MJ. Not as a basketball player on the wing. MJ had perfect footwork, perfect timing, perfect balance. He was perfect in reading defenders. In fact, he taught Kobe Bryant how to read defenders when it comes to the post-up game. Okay? And Kobe was good at post-up, but his efficiency was nowhere near to Jordan when it comes to post-up. I think it was Craig Hodges that said the difference between MJ and Kobe is that when they go to the line, Kobe Bryant going to the line to shoot 2. MJ, when he go to the line, he going to the line as N1. Those of you that know basketball, you know what I'm talking about. Because his hands were so big to go along with his skill set, to go along with his being gifted, to go along with his fundamentals, put him in a position to be a high, efficient scorer. Okay? And because he was so precise, everything he did, it seemed effortless. right? It seemed effortless. He was just that good. Number 5, the silence and the stare. One underrated part of MJ's mystique is that he didn't talk much in the public during games a lot of the times. Okay? You have some players that constantly talk through the game, constantly show emotion through the game, celebrate early. But when you go back and watch some of the games Jordan played, right? He will play his game, be dominating. He'll watch, he'll wait. And then late in the game, he'll strike you like a snake, a rattlesnake. And this will create tension with a lot of opponents because, like I said, MJ was great at psychological warfare on the hoop court. Sometimes he came out there, he talked trash, but then sometimes he came out there with a dead silence and stare. And people throughout the whole game be waiting, like, when is he going to get going? I know it's coming. They just didn't know when. And that psychological pressure caused a lot of people to wear down, especially in the big moments when it's time to close the game. And this is why, okay, y'all can talk about Kobe, y'all can talk about KD, y'all can talk about LeBron, but this is why Jordan in the finals, he's 6 for 6. Huh? Number 6, delivering in the clutch created also the myth and mystique about Jordan. Mystique grows when someone repeatedly performs in a moment everyone fear. And Jordan, he always wanted the last shot. He always wanted to take responsibility. He always wanted to deliver repeatedly when it came down the stretch. And after enough times, and it stopped feeling like a coincidence, it started feeling like it's going to happen regardless. And this is why MJ, okay? And he got the most buzzer beaters right now. MJ do. If my memory serves me correctly, he got the most buzzer beaters. And I think LeBron is next. And then maybe I think it was Kobe. But anyway, right? He got the most buzzer beaters. But MJ got the most clutch moments. He got the most clutch moments. Number 7, body language that communicated authority. You look at Jordan walk, you look at his posture, you look at how he pacing. It all signals to his teammates and to his opponents that he's in control, he's in authority, and he have patience that many people lack. And great competitors, what they do, they read body language constantly. And when Jordan was on the hoop court, no matter what, he never looked like a prey. But his body language always said he was on the hunt as a predator. And people knew this. They knew this. Number 8, the psychological principle behind the mystique. Jordan mystique came from 3 main forces: preparation, film study, practice. Many of his teammates and many people that was around him, coaches and whatnot, says that MJ, his practice was more intense than the game. And when you got somebody like that, when they in the game, of course it's going to be easy. Of course it's going to be effortless because he's practicing harder than he do the game. His repetition of greatness, his psychological dominance, these 3 elements played a part in the psychological principle behind his mystique. You have to have discipline. You got to have control. Even the scriptures say, he that can't rule his spirit is like a city without walls. If you're not disciplined, if you're not in control, you can't have that mistake to yourself. Okay? So I hope this helped you understand why he's considered the GOAT. And in my personal opinion, he is the GOAT when it comes to the NBA. But this is the reason why a lot of people also make these claims for him. All right? To the next video. Peace.